Well, it seems that in Florida, this judge rendered a decision on a case where a lesbian couple had a kid, and the sperm donor, which is another gay guy, he wanted to still be a part of the family, but not really. And that happens all the time. And I had a lesbian couple once ask me for my sperm, and I said, you know what? Not really. I don't know if I want to see another little Jose running around. But if I were to inseminate you, I'm going to do it naturally. How about that? Oh, take it. It's been a while since I had a lesbian pussy. But, take that pussy. So the judge said that the gay guy and the two lesbians, the lesbian couple, they're able to be on the birth certificate. Now, here's the thing. I don't really think, I know I'm going to get some heat from the extreme, those activists that really just are pushing the envelope too far. And yes, you can go too far, just like a Christian can say we have to execute homosexuals because that's what the Bible says. And believe me, not all Christians believe that. Just as that can happen, we can also have somebody say, well, we can put in the birth certificate of a kid that his natural parents are two women. And the thing is that, well, first of all, two women cannot have a kid. Two guys cannot have a kid. That's reality. I'm not trying to, regurgitate the right wing or the Catholic Church. But as far as the kid is concerned, the kid would want to know who the dad is or the mom is, maybe, and this happens with adopted children too. When they grow up, when they get older, they get to find out, maybe sometimes, that they have adopted or their natural born parents. They want to find out who they were. So, for medical reasons, if they have a family genetic problem with cancer, stuff like that, for medical reasons, you want to know who the biological parent is. But anyway, I don't really care. If you want to put these three people on there, fine. The birth certificate can say, look, this is the natural father, this is the natural mother, and then this is the partner of the natural mother who's also a parent of the child. That's fine. I don't really care. But it's actually a good idea to include the gay dad in, because that way the child will know who her father is. And in case something goes wrong, you don't know what might happen in the future. It's called family planning, and it's making arrangements. And conservatives say all the time, when we pursue gay marriage, they say, well, you gay people, you come up with your own arrangements. All right. Well, here we are. Florida, there's no gay marriage, so you have to come up with your own arrangement. So this is the arrangement that they come up with. But now Rush Limbaugh is going on a tirade about this. So here he is. Let me get that up for you. Here's Rush Limbaugh, and he's foaming at the mouth over this.
From the Miami Herald, a Miami-Dade circuit judge has approved a private adoption, allowing 3 people to be listed on the birth certificate of their 23-month-old daughter. Miami family lawyer Karen Bacon, we're creating entirely new concepts of families. If you have 2 women seeking to be listed as parent 1 and parent 2, that does not exclude listing a man as father.
Well, Rush, conservatives always say that the child has a right to know who her or his biological parents are, and this is the way to do it. Now, as far as the third person there that is meddling in, the lesbian that has no biological ties, well, I guess legally she will be the guardian of the child. So for the sake of the birth certificate being useful, they had to include the lesbian partner too, because that's where the child will be raised at. But that's why I don't have a problem with including all three. I'm just trying to say that a child may want to know who dad is and who mom was. But Rush wants to take it to, he wants to make the argument that this is the reason why we can't have gay marriage, blah, blah, blah.
Now, this family lawyer is representing the father, Massimo Gerina, in a 2-year paternity case involving lesbian friends who had his baby. There are 3 parties involved, and the judge said, yep, that makes the case unique. Now, I just remember how I have been mocked and ridiculed and made fun of for even mentioning that these kinds of things were going to happen. I remember being laughed at and mocked.
But Rush Limbaugh, I don't know if you ever recall, but Rush Limbaugh, I don't recall ever anybody saying, oh, now what's going to happen is that gay people who have kids want to be recognized on the birth certificates of the children. Yeah. The gay guy is the natural parent of the child, and he has the right to be on the birth certificate. Well, it used to be back in the heyday that when you had a kid and the mother would say, okay, the father of my kid is so-and-so, and then they'll be placed on the birth certificate. It wasn't much of a problem, and it shouldn't be much of a problem today. But, Rush is arguing that this is what happens when you redefine marriage. Well, Rush, I don't think Florida doesn't have gay marriage. And yet they're doing this, right? Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Being called an extremist for predicting that definitions of family, what constitutes family, is now wide open, and pretty soon you're going to be able to marry your dog. Your dog's going to be an official member of the family who qualifies for benefits. People laughed and made fun of me, and here we're...
Yes, Rush, because dogs cannot sign documents. Dogs cannot drive cars. Dogs cannot inherit... Oh, I think they might. In some cases, they might inherit some stuff. Actually, no, they can't. Anyways, but dogs cannot sign documents, consent to anything. They cannot own property. They cannot buy cars, take out loans, take out credit cards. So, why would any rational person think that now that this is happening, yeah, you want to marry a dog now. You want to marry a squirrel. You want to marry a rock. Oh, that makes plenty sense. Oh. But when you say, well, if you allow a baker to discriminate against gay people because they want a wedding cake, how dare they? What stops a baker from discriminating against a black person? You're saying, oh, that has nothing to do with it. Well, slippery slope. It applies here as well. Pardon me, that's my clock. What time is it? Alright, it's 8 o'clock. Dang, dang, dang. Forgot to rewind it. And it's wrong. Golly. Anyway, Rush is trying to make this argument. Right? It's very logical here. That a man would want to marry now a dog. Dogs cannot sign things. Dogs cannot do anything of the sort. Okay? Pretty simple there. But he predicted that this was going to happen. No, he didn't predict anything.
Here we go. Miami-Dade Circuit Judge okays a plan for a gay guy and a lesbian couple to be on a daughter's birth certificate, even though one of the lesbians had nothing to do with it. And maybe both of the lesbians had nothing to do with it. It could be that there's a fourth involved. A surrogate. Wait till a surrogate hears about this.
Oh, yeah. Woo. Yeah. Well, there you go. But I thought you conservatives were like, let's not redefine marriage. Let gay people do their thing. This whole pseudo-libertarian, neoliberal approach to this issue is like, don't redefine marriage. If you want to have your own family arrangements and call it something else and do your own thing, gay people, but leave us alone, right? And all right, well, in Florida, marriage was not redefined. The voters of Florida passed a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage. But yet this happened. Yeah, because we took your advice, Rush. We the people of Florida, ban gay marriage, just like you said that we should do, and that gay people should make up their own arrangements, their own familial arrangements, and this is what they come up with. This is their arrangement. But now you're foaming at the mouth because they follow your advice? What a fucking douche. Oy.